You're right. He has shown that he did win last week. Of course, Eric Byrne did win the race, but they found out that things were okay on car number 54 from the way things were told. Trouble already. As we got 3 cars involved. Try to get some heat into the tires.
Five laps.
Here they come off turn number 4. The green flag is in the air, and we are underway. And it will be Ericsson that leads the way. Trouble. One machine slides up against the Armco barrier.
And he's still rolling.
He is still rolling. It looks like
caution's out.
That appears to be the number.
I think it might be the
8. It looks like it is the 52 machine. Travis Clark out of Lebanon, Connecticut. Beautiful prepared car.
Looks like Ward Burton's Winston Cup car.
Yes, it does.
Did.
No, it still does.
Still a little bit.
Hey, Hank Scarpa checks the field out. Off turn number 4. Green flag is in the air, and we are underway.
Frank Mucciacciaro doesn't come up to speed, and everybody stacking up. Ron Yuhas is involved.
And we are under caution once again.
Second time in a row, it's all happened in the outside lane.
Yuhas caught up in that, along with some other machines as well.
They're all going to pull away, though, so it's going to be a quick one. The 15 pulls away for Harry Ram was involved. And one other car, looks to be a 37.
To some of those drivers in the Neiman division, and you talk to them, and they certainly like coming to a facility like the Waterford Speedbowl, where, you know, very fast straightaways and very tight turns, and they look forward to coming here each and every time. Well, down there trackside, Steve Haraka getting the field back into a line.
Set for the restart here in another less than a lap. One to go signal has been given.
One was kind of a night like tonight, kind of a cool night. But we're just about set. Green flag is up in the air, and we are underway. As they work down into turn number 1, one car slides out to the center of the infield. That is Carl Erickson. And meanwhile, we are still green as they'll work it off of turn number 4 this time by. And caution coming out once again.
That was in front of the field right now. Take 3 or 4. Hopefully we'll get a lap in here.
Of course, that car, the car that Joe Schumann drives, that's actually a car that Jimmy Broderick drove here as well.
Jimmy Broderick, very successful modified driver. Has had a tough season, broke his arm at Thompson midsummer and has had to sit out the entire second half. Green flag off of turn number 4, and it's Schumann and Mucciacciaro on the front row down into turn number 2, and this time, so far, so good at that end of the speedway.
And then meanwhile, up front, It is car number 83 of Joe Schumann. Here they come, the complete lap number 1. It is Joe Schumann. But now the battle's on for second. Muchacharo to the outside. Chad Barnett to the inside. In the meanwhile, here comes Danny Lajeunesse trying to work up to the outside, trying to take that spot away from the Fox machine as they exit off of turn number 4.
Chad Barnett looking to the inside of Muchacharo for the spot. Tommy Fox to the inside of the driver of car number 77 into turn number 2. That's Danny Lajeunesse. He's going to grab the spot away. That's 4th. Move 5th to Tom Fox. Jerry Pearl and Jeff Pearl still side by side, 6 and 7.
In the meanwhile, we'll keep our eye on T.H.E. Christopher, the driver of car number 13, as he's trying to work his way up to the front. He's going to pull Ron Yuhas Jr. along with him as well. But up front, it is Schumann. Then in second, it is the 98 of Frank Muchacharo. But the battle's on for third. Chad Barnett to the inside. Danny Lajeunesse to the outside. Who will have the advantage as they exit off of turn number 2? It looks like it was going to be Danny Lajeunesse, but here comes Barnett. He's strong with car number 4 to the inside.
Yeah, Barnett looking really good tonight, getting around Lajeunesse for third. Those two came into contact just a bit down into turn number 1. Jeff Pearl up into the top 5 in car number 71 to the inside of Fox, grabbing the spot away. Fox a little out of shape on the front straightaway. Does a nice job of saving the 47 car back down into turn number 1. Danny Lajeunesse also in that pack to the outside of Pearl.
In the meanwhile, Dennis Gaeta, your current point leader and 2-time SK Modified champion, doing what he does best, work the outside. And guess who's right there? T.H.E. Christopher. He's following every move that Gaeta makes as they exit off of turn number 2. But in the meanwhile, Gaeta running very, very strong. He is clicking off a lot of cars on the outside.
T.H.E. Christopher to the outside of Jerry Pearl now. He has sliced his way through half of the field in car number 13 and is now just inside of the top 10. As the leaders are off of turn number 4, Schumann showing the way over Muchacharo, followed by the 4 for Chad Barnett. That's your lead trio back down into turn number 2. Everybody running side by side from there on back. Danny Lajeunesse, Jeff Pearl, the 09. Jay Miller, Dennis Gaeta, and Tom Fox.
And in the meanwhile, Schumann trying to pull off a victory here tonight. Should things stay this way, he's certainly got a good race car. He's out in front. Frank Muchacharo runs in second. Chad Barnett, another driver having a great run. But here comes a challenge for that spot as Don Fowler with car number 26 works up to the outside. Jay Miller, certainly another strong run for him, second-generation driver. Dennis Gaeta working his way slowly but surely to the front.
Don Fowler in a position to get the 3rd spot away from the 4 car and does so down into turn number 2 for Chad Barnett. Now goes to work on Muchacharo down into turn number 3. Don Fowler to the outside, Muchacharo to the inside. The battle for second behind the 83 of Schumann at the front of the field.
And meanwhile, Dennis Gaeta, we said slowly but surely he was making his way to the front. Make that pretty quick. He's challenging now for the 3rd position. That is Muchacharo down low. Here comes Gaeta up high as Jay Miller got out of shape there. And meanwhile, Danny Lajeunesse and Jeff Pearl also got a little bit sideways. They did a great job of gathering that back in. And we are still green, and it's still Schumann leaving off of turn number 4 as Jay Miller now will spin off of turn number 4.
We got a big one over in turn number 2, and Dennis Gaeta, I believe, is one of the cars involved in car number 3.
So Gaeta, the current point leader, coming into tonight's action, has a problem. You could see him starting that machine, the raw fuel now. That's
I think it's a little more than that.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibly the oil cooler could be broke on that car, and it is a red flag situation.
Rescue crew quickly to the aid of the machine over in turn number 2, second red of the event. 15.
Scarper now checks the field over. Green flag is up in the air. We are back underway. Schumann and Fowler lead the field down as they run side by side in Nerf bar to Nerf bar. Who's going to have the advantage off of turn number 2? Don Fowler with the white machine. Car number 26 shows the way. Schumann trying to hold on for second. Kenny doesn't look like the inside lane is going to be to his advantage. In the meanwhile, off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway, it is still Fowler in command.
Ron Yuhas already back up to second after his involvement in an early race incident. Down the back straightaway, into turn number 1. Yuhas to the inside, off of turn number 2.
So some good action here in our SK Modifieds. When they come down to the stripe this time by, it's going to be the halfway signal. Having a strong run tonight is Joey Savale with car number 2. He finds himself among the top 6 as they work down the back straightaway. But right behind him, the North End Auto Parts Pontiac for Eric Byrne. They actually competed in quarter midget racing at one time, but Byrne may have a problem. He has got problems. It looks like the Nerf bar is rubbing on the wheel.
Not slowing him down any in car number 54, running the outside, getting around Savali and up into the top 6. Right now stuck behind the 33 of La Jeunesse off of turn number 2. Ron Yuhas at the point over in turn number 3. Fowler in second, Pearl in third. Back down to the stripe with 14 laps to run.
And it looks like the black flag has just been shown to the North End Auto Parts Pontiac of Eric Byrne as he's all over the back bumper of the La Jeunesse machine. Off turn number 4 down to the stripe, it is Ron Yuhas showing the way. And Eric Byrne, once again, for the second time now, has been shown the black flag. In the meanwhile, up front, the last time, trouble. Ron Yuhas drifted way up there in turn number 4. That opened up a big door for Don Fowler. As now Fowler will try to come back down to the inside. Off turn number 2, down the back straightaway. It's a drag race down into turn number 3.
Yuhas holds the top spot. Fowler pulls into second. Jerry Pearl in third in the 43. And then the 49 up in the 4th for John Brower. Everybody single file with 10 laps to run. Jay Miller out of shape again on the front stretch in the 09. Everybody's going to miss him.
Well, this could be a big break for
4
Eric
cars
Byrne.
stacked up in turn 2 as well in a separate incident. Not sure if that was the front of the field. That might be the Schumann car. One of those involved.
And it looks like
47 of Tom Fox.
Tommy Fox is involved. So this could be a break for Eric Byrne right now. Of course, he was showed the black flag. Now the caution comes out, and of course, as we told you, the Nerf bar was rubbing on the right rear wheel. So this gives him a break to get that machine into the pit area and get that the Nerf bar that is rubbing on the tire. And the 26 of Fowler will lead him down into turn number 1. And Dennis Gaeta making his way back out onto
Trouble,
the
turn 3, 1 car up into the outside wall. It's John Brower. Caution.
I'm going to take this just in case.
So Brower involved in an incident. Something happened to that car, sparked all the way down the back straightaway before coming to rest in the outside guardrail. We'll pull it back down to the inside of the track. Caught around the speedway with the green flag from the starter stand out. And it's the green car, appropriately enough, to lead him down into turn number 1 for Ron Yuhas. Fowler slips into second. They begin to string out down the back straightaway. Who's in third? Making the way off the corner to 33, having a great run here tonight for Mark La Jeunesse. The 15 of Harry Rand running in 4th, and Jerry Pearl rounding out the top 5. The 2 of Savali running in 6th. 3 cars have broken away from the rest of the field. Back down into turn number 1. Ron Yuhas out front. Don Fowler reeling them in. La Jeunesse, then a gap back to Ram, Pearl, and Savali. Everyone's running single file. Frank Mucciacciaro trying to gain some spots back in the 98. Along with Wendell Daly in the 66. Jeff Pearl struggling here tonight in the 71. Outside of the top 10 right now. 6 laps to go. Things winding down in a hurry. Ron Yuhas pulling away just a bit. Down into turn number 3. Don Fowler and Mark La Jeunesse, 1, 2, and 3. Things getting a little rough in turn 3 momentarily with some lap traffic to the inside, including the 37. Jim Coombs limping around the speedway. Back off turn 4. 1, 2, and 3 still nose to tail. Jay Miller trying to make his way up through the field in the 09. The Brightside Incorporated entry to the outside of Tom Fox. Wendell Daly also there. Car up and into the outside guardrail. He was one of the top 5. He's come to a stop, bringing out the caution flag with 4 laps to go. Go on the 18th of August. 4 laps to go. Green is out. Ron Yuhas back in command. Don Fowler, Mark Lajeunesse. 1, 2, and 3 quickly tucking in the line. Jerry Pearl and Harry Ram go at it for 4th and 5th. Ram grabbing the spot away from Jerry, who settles in the 5th. The 4 for Chad Barnett has slid back since the start of this one. Started in the front 2 rows, now outside of the top 5 in the orange number 4. 2 laps to go off of turn number 4. Jay Miller coming back up through the field in the 09. Wendell Daly sliding back into 66, and Tom Fox got a big one over in turn number 1 up into the outside wall. The caution is out. Caution flag out again. Keith Kaminsky gets into the outside guardrail in turn number 2. Safety crew on the scene. 4. Ron Yuhas for 2 laps leads him down into turn 1. Don Fowler, Lajeunesse, and Harry Ram. Side by side for 3rd and 4th. Jerry Pearl, followed by the 4 of Chad Barnett. White flag is out. 1 lap to go off the corner. And it's Ron Yuhas leading him down into turn number 3. No one's going to catch him, and for the 2nd time this year, off turn 4, checkered flag is out, and Ron Yuhas takes down the race win. 2nd goes to Don Fowler, 3rd to Mark Lajeunesse, Harry Ram, and Jerry Pearl, the unofficial top 5 at the completion of this SK Modified 35-lap feature. So Ron Yuhas taking down the win 2nd time here in 2001. Opened the year promising with a victory, had a couple of problems, then a bunch of podium finishes, and now back in victory lane here tonight. Don Fowler and Lajeunesse have made their way down trackside, so hasn't Gary Danko, who will speak to our 2nd and 3rd place finishers. Gary?
Well, thank you, Kyle. We wait for Mark Lajeunesse to unstrap out of the machine. Of course, the battle scars from back a few weeks ago when he went on his roof. Of course, they got the car back here, and certainly a great run for Mark Lajeunesse, the driver of car number 33, as we wait for him to unstrap and take the helmet off. And we'll talk to him right as he sits inside the race car. And Mark, certainly you finally got this one in. I bet you were saying to yourself, when is this one going to end?
I know we only put in 10 gallons of gas for the feature, and I was starting to get a little concerned with it, but we made it, so.
Be pretty happy to weigh the performance of this car after back a couple of weeks ago when you went on your roof.
Yeah, all the crew, our friends, sponsors, they did a real good job, got the car back, and we just have to tweak on it a little bit more.
Okay, that's Mark Lajeunesse, certainly the veteran driver here at the Waterford Speedbowl. He finishes in the 3rd position. Also having a strong run. This is not his primary car that he started out the 2001 season with, but it's getting the job done. Don Fowler, certainly a strong run for you tonight. You finished 2nd, but I'll tell you, you were hounding the Ron Yuhas machine there.
Yeah, he was definitely strong. We went back to that green after that caution, and I don't know, something happened. It just skated up the racetrack. I left the door open. He was right there. I got to say, for an antique piece, a 1979 piece, it goes decent. I got to say it's working better than my other car did. And I got to thank some guys here, CB Fabrication on the engine. He's found me some horsepower that I needed. And also all the guys, Steve Volker and the 2 John guys that helped me week in and week out on the car. Also, I got to also thanks Johnson Marine and our new dentist, Dr. Watt, over in Mystic Family Dentistry. He's on board with us now too, which we always can use some help.
How about the cooler temperatures here tonight? Where did you find that you had where you could have a good groove where you could maneuver this machine?
Well, we take a chance in the last 3 weeks. We start the race on sticker tires. They seem to get a bite on a better track, cold track better than the used ones do. So if we scuff them in early in the night, they seem to be on these cooler temperatures tougher to get a hook on it. But the car's been going a lot better lately, and Dave got me some more power under the hood, so we're in good shape. It's a matter of time. Definitely, Ronnie gave me all I could handle. Thank you. And
okay, that's Don Fowler. Certainly a great run for Mark Lajeunesse and Don Fowler, the driver of car number 26. But tonight, his second win of the 2001 season, Ron Yuhas Jr., the driver of car number 6. Renee Dugas taking the photographs down here in Victory Lane. And we'll talk to Ron about his win here tonight. If you were with us back at the beginning of this season when he got his first victory of the 2001 season, it was kind of like a night like tonight. Cooler temperatures. He certainly still has the checkered flag out the window of the car. How about a big round of applause for Ron Yuhas Jr., the driver of car number 6. Ron, come right over here. Certainly was a great run for you tonight. And it's your second win of the 2001 season. You got to be pretty proud of yourself and the crew.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, we've been struggling this year, and we've been keep plugging at it every week, and we've been getting discouraged, but we keep coming back, and this thing's been running pretty awesome the last couple weeks. I told you last week we were going to be here this week.
I mentioned to the fans really quickly, when you won your first race of the 2001 season, the temperatures were certainly about the same.
Yeah, when it got hot out, the car got real tight, and we've been struggling with it. We finally figured out what to do when it gets hot out. And, I mean, now the temperature's cooling down. Hopefully we can win these last couple.
How about the sponsors on your machine?
Yeah, I mean, you can't do it without those guys. AP Marquardt been behind us since day one. Pat's Auto Center, TK's Custom Auto, MJ Sawchuck. Larry's put an awesome motor in this thing, and everybody else.
That's Ron Yuhas Jr. He picks up his second win of the 2001 season in the SK Modified Division. Back upstairs to Kyle Rickey.